Good morning, Texoma. I'm Ashley Fitzwater. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're taking an inside look at two big programs at Faith Mission this morning. One of them actually just kicked off a few weeks ago. It's called Faith Enterprises, and it's a new program that is helping men with employment barriers find jobs. And it's such a great program. There's already a wonderful story that's come out of it. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, we want to talk about a big event that's coming up this Friday, Texoma, and they really need your help to get involved in your support. It's called the 8th Annual Night in a Box, and joining me now with the details is Kendall New. She is a volunteer, and also Vicki Payne, the Director of Marketing and Development at Faith Mission. So we appreciate you being here with us this morning.
Thanks, Ashley. We're glad to be here.
Night in a Box. It's a fundraiser, so can you tell us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. We want to invite everybody to come out and join us and help raise awareness of homelessness and also raise operating expenses for both our homeless shelters in the community, Faith Mission and Faith Refuge. And the model is every person that comes and stays all night, they're called tenants. So they register as a tenant and they come and they pick their real estate and they set up their boxes. So you bring your box decorated and you find a spot and you stay all night in the box. We encourage people to donate a minimum of $100 per person, and then for each $100, for that $100 they get a free t-shirt. If you bring a group and you haven't reached that goal, you can buy or make a donation, a suggested donation of $15 for a t-shirt as long as supplies are available. So my daughter, who's now 15, but a couple of years ago I had her raise her money for the box. She's going, $100? I can't raise $100. I can't ask people for money. I said, it's only asking 10 people for $10. Yes, you can. So her dad took her around to neighborhood friends that we know, and she raised it in about 15 minutes. So it's not as hard as it sounds to a teenager. You know, I can't ask people for money. Well, you ask people for things all the time.
Right.
And for things that don't matter. Well, this matters. And this can actually mean the difference in someone having a nice, safe bed to sleep in or a meal.
Just to make this clear, in case people, I know that you explained it, but you are spending the night in a box. I mean, when we say a night in a box, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. And you've done this before. Can you tell me how many years that you've taken part in this?
I have twice. I have taken part twice, and I stayed the entire night. And it was an absolutely amazing experience to be a part of that. I really, really loved it.
So tell me from the beginning, the first time you heard about this and you heard spend the night in a box to raise awareness for homelessness, can you tell me what went through your mind?
I didn't think I could. I didn't think I could go through kind of a sleepless night. I didn't think I would sleep at all. I maybe slept about 20 minutes. It kind of took me a little bit to actually get into it. I didn't want to do it at first, but it was a church thing, and a lot of people were really involved in it, and I was like, okay, I've got school the next day, or I think I had work actually because I guess it was on a Saturday, but I did it and it wasn't really as bad as I thought it was going to be, and it was actually a lot of fun. It was awesome to me to see that I was part of that support system and to start thinking about being a part of awareness and bringing that to Faith Mission. And I actually started to volunteer a little bit more at Faith Mission and meet some of the clients there, and it was absolutely amazing to meet the people that I was working for and raising awareness for. It was really amazing.
And it obviously did have a good impact on you because you've done it again,
yes,
and now you're going to do it again. Can you tell us why you feel this is such an important thing to have in our community?
So many times we pass by people on the streets, and when you see it so often, it's really easy to get calloused and kind of think that it's just the way of life for them. But once you actually start to be a part of that process of raising awareness and you do it personally, you start to see them as people. And I just think that's the first step in starting to help them and start to recognize that they're humans too, is trying to join forces and be a part of that. And it's something that everyone should do.
Now again, it is coming up this Friday. It's going to be taking place in the Mardel's parking lot. That's off of Southwest Parkway in Kemp in Wichita Falls. Tell us what you need if you want to take part, what you're going to need to do.
It's better if you decorate your box before you come. You need to bring your own box. You can decorate there if you want. We do give prizes throughout the evening, you know, for the most creative box, the people that came the farthest. You need to bring a brick or a concrete block to secure your box from being taken away by our Texas winds. And some people bring camp chairs. some people actually come just for the music and they don't stay all night. And then some people bring their boxes and they stay part of the night. Some people have these really big architectural design ideas and they try to do 2 stories and they don't always work. And so if their house collapses, they might not stay all night, but they are sure welcome to. So they want to bring a pillow, a cover, or a sleeping bag. So, because we want you to be as comfortable as possible. And I will tell you that a unique thing about me is when I went to work for Faith Mission, the Lord prepared me for 2 years through different Bible studies and gave me a humble heart to reach out to the homeless. And it is a calling. But when I went to work there, I went, oh, that's what that's called. We were homeless when I was a child. That's what all that moving around was. We were homeless for a part of my childhood. And so I think it's important to tell people, you know, you can overcome childhood poverty. You can overcome homelessness. God can do something with your life, and being homeless should not define you. Our identity is in Christ. And so we welcome the Christian community and everybody in the community to come together and help us share that message of hope with people, because hope lives. And our vision is to eliminate homelessness. Our mission at Faith Mission and Faith Refuge is to provide Christ-centered programs and services that lead the homeless to self-sufficiency. We do that through the various programs, and that's what we're going to talk about also, is the Faith Enterprises.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned some music. There's going to be food, I understand.
Yes.
Tell us what's going to take place on Friday and when it all starts.
Live music starts at 5 p.m. with the First Baptist Youth Orchestra. They will play for 45 minutes to an hour, so you can be setting up while they're playing. And we will be serving hot dogs, hamburgers, and our traditional beans that people think of that go with the mission. And Doug and Wade Green, their family, always does the beans. They love it, and we're glad to have them. And we recruited Dave and Josie Nave last year for the burgers, and they love it. And it's just something about it, isn't it, Kendall? When you get involved in this kind of issue, not only are we serving them, the people, but we're also serving the Lord, and we get a blessing.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of, I'm always tired the next day, but honestly, I don't sleep in a box. I sleep in a lawn chair. So if you want to bring a lawn chair, it's really pretty comfortable and pretty nice to look up at the stars. But teams will bring their boxes and they'll group them together. We had MSU nursing students last year who, by the way, are great volunteers all through the school year at Faith Mission. And they put them in a U shape so they could see each other and they could see the band. So the band is facing out and all the boxes are positioned where they can see the band and listen to the music. And then the chairs, if people, we'll have some camp chairs, but some people bring their own. They just kind of sit between the band and the boxes so they can just listen to the music.
And then when does it all wrap up? So the next day, how does it all end, and when do you finally go home?
That is a great question. You know that slogan, when you go camping, what you carry in, you carry out? It's the same way with Not in a Box. So we can't clean it all up for you. You have to carry out what you bring in, and we will make it convenient we'll have a place for the cardboard. So we have to be all cleaned up by 7 a.m.
You go home if you can. Maybe that's when you go back to your bed and appreciate that you have your bed. If not, go off to work, maybe like Kendall had to do in years past. Well, we really appreciate you ladies, taking time to share about this. Again, it is this Friday, parking lot of Mardel's. The thing is, though, it is best if people register so you can know how much food to have.
What size T-shirt? Yes.
What size T-shirt?
So we'll have it bagged and ready for you. Yes.
That would really be a big help. And Texoma, you can do that by calling the number. We'll put it on your screen. It is 723-5663. Again, it's a free event. What a great family event, too. Do you have children come out? Is there a lot of young people, too?
All ages, yes. Bring them. Everybody is welcome. And they can actually even register that night. So don't think that if you're seeing it on May 16th that you can't register. You can still register at the event.
Okay, perfect. Well, we are not done talking about Faith Mission and really what all they do in our community. As you hear, that is just one of many things of how they are changing lives. We are going to be talking about Faith Enterprises still to come, so stick around, Texoma. We'll be right back with much more. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we're taking an inside look into Faith Mission and specifically the program we told you about at the beginning, Faith Enterprises. It just launched about 2 weeks ago officially, and joining me now to talk about this is Kyle Neal. He is the director of Faith Enterprises, and also Chance Ferguson. He is one of the students of the program and also an employee of Faith Enterprises. So first of all, we just appreciate both of you taking time to be here this morning.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Faith Enterprises is a new program that is helping men who find themselves, I guess, against barriers when it comes to finding a job. And
Yes.
your goal is really to just offer some hope and the connection they need, right, to continue on with their lives?
Yes, Faith Enterprises was a vision that Steve Sparks, the executive director of Faith Mission, had. And I also had this vision. In my past history, I've been in and out of trouble, and when I would go out and try to find a job, what would happen, I would run into some barriers. Some doors would get closed in my face because of my background. I thought, you know, if there was just some kind of program out there that could help guys, no matter what their history was, you know, help them go to work, I think that would help change a lot of men's lives and give them some hope and purpose. Historically, Faith Mission has had a Christ-centered 12-step program called the New Beginnings Program since about 1997. What we've discovered is that once these guys got out of the program, they were cleaned up off drugs and alcohol, but that didn't mean that they knew how to go start their life again. They would go out and try to find a job, and doors would get shut in their face, and before you knew it, they were doing the same things again. The lure of easy money brought them back in, and they were just a revolving door right back into the program or into the county jail or whatever. And we believe that Faith Enterprises could be a stepping stone from shelter to society. We believe it's the missing link to address the issue of recidivism and try to help these guys that are able and willing and wanting to go to work to try to help them start their lives again and be successful citizens.
And since this was something that was obviously close to you and personal for you, and now you can relate to these men who are coming in the program, that purpose, is that what helped you continue on?
Yeah, it was, and I've been in the electrical trade for over 20 years, and even with that skill and with that trade under my belt, I was still getting, you know, rejections and doors slammed in my face, and I couldn't imagine what it would be like for somebody who had absolutely no work history or no trade skills or anything like that. It would be next to impossible for them to go out with a felony label on them and go out and get a job and try to make all of their probation or parole payments, their child support payments, just normal everyday paying the rent, paying bills and stuff like that. It would become too overwhelming, and they're sure they're going to go back and probably do the same thing again. They had no atmosphere of encouragement, and that's what we hope that Faith Enterprises brings, is an atmosphere of encouragement to these guys to let them know that their life is salvageable, that nothing is impossible, and it's never too late.
That's awesome. Now, Chance, we appreciate you coming and sharing a little bit of your story. What I love about this is that I understand Inside Texoma even had a purpose or had a hand in, of course, hooking you up with Faith Mission here.
A little over 6 months ago, after getting ready to go in front of the DA and go ahead and take my time, I ran out of rehabilitation programs to call. Everybody turned me down. They just said, we can't take you. You got past convictions, and we pretty much can't handle it. So I just called out to God. I said, look, I can't do this no more. Please help me. I need guidance. I need something in my life. I need this in my life. 2 days later, I got a phone call. Faith Mission will be ready and willing to take you if you want it. So I said, okay. I said, well, let me see what they're about. So first thing I did was I pulled up YouTube. First thing I see is Inside Texoma with Vicky Payne, you, and Mr. Steve Sparks. Later that day, I called him up. I called Mr. Ron Thompson, our program director, called him up, and he went ahead and told me, he said, you know, he said, I'm not worried about your past convictions. He said, if you want this, he said, I will be here to help you. Whenever I first came in that program, I'd been without work for over 2 years, going in and out, trying to find jobs, and just like Kyle said, just different barriers kept popping up. I mean, just different things. Every time I'd go, I couldn't find nothing. Most I could do is try to just sell scrap iron, and finally just got tired of it. And whenever I came to that point, I just gave up hope. And coming to Faith Mission and learning about Faith Enterprise and having the opportunity to be a part of this has put so much hope into my life that it's unimaginable. It gives me the hope I need to keep striving to go forward and keep striving to better my life and to keep improving my life.
What do you think your life would be like if this connection didn't happen? I mean, because this is such a new program. I mean, talk about timing, you know, just how everything fell into place.
I believe that if the program wouldn't have came, I mean, I'd have did my 10 months. I'd have been stuck going back to Louisiana and still been stuck trying to find work, just running around, and I'd eventually went back into the same rut I was at and gave up hope. But with the program now, it shows me that, you know, there is hope. There is hope in the future. There is hope in a better past. There is hope that you can strive to be better than who you once was. That what the community once thought about you, it doesn't have to be what they always think about you. That you can change the name for yourself. No matter how bad you was, you can always show that you're a better person with the help of God and with the help of everybody else around you.
So well put, you know?
It is, and you know, it's guys like this that we're targeting. And we realize that there are some guys that are not mentally or physically able to go to work, and there are some that don't want to go to work. They just want a free ride, and we understand that. But there are those certain guys that have motivation, they have incentive, they've enrolled in a recovery program, and they really want to go to work, but they're just facing some obstacles that they can't get past. And those are the guys that we are targeting to go to work. And Chance is a perfect example. You know, he is probably one of the brightest guys that I've ever met, you know, and nobody took the time to give him a chance to find out. And I'm just grateful that he's come on board.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about what they're going to be doing? So once you're in this program, how is it connected to the community and what you're going to be seeing?
Well, we're going to mainly focus on outside work right now, or work that maybe at vacant houses. We realize that we have to build a reputation of integrity and honesty and reliability, and we're going to do that. We're going to strive. In fact, our motto is working to earn your confidence, and that's what we want to do. We do not want anything given to us. We're going to earn everything that we get, and we're going to prove not only to ourselves and to God, but to the community that we can be counted on, and that we're going to our work is going to speak for itself. We're going to be doing landscaping. We're going to be doing we're doing a lot of rainwater harvesting systems right now. Outside painting, anything from the alley to the curb. Be more than happy to come give you an estimate and hopefully be given the opportunity to earn your confidence. And we're insured and bonded, and our guys are supervised totally. We wear all the same uniforms. Our guys know that they're under the radar. They know that they're getting watched. Every move that they're making is getting watched, and we welcome that. You know, we want to make sure that everything we do is above and beyond what is normally expected.
Maybe a year from now, how would you like to see this grow and maybe expand?
Well, I would like to see maybe about 3 crews running with maybe Chance as a foreman or a couple of other guys that are in the program as foremen, as full-time employees of Faith Enterprises. Once we build a reputation, Faith Mission would probably get recognized throughout the state of Texas as being the go-to rehab because we're probably one of the only ones that are addressing a social need through employment. We're, first of all, introducing them to Jesus Christ, and we're teaching them how to get up and go to work, how to budget and save, how to pay your bills, and how to become a man of God that He created you to be. And there's not many programs like that in the state. What we're trying to do is eliminate the excuses of, well, I can't make it. I can't make it because I've had this happen. And we're going to take away all that, okay? We're going to give them a place to stay, give them a ride to work, give them food to eat, put clothes on them, and then we're going to work them, and now they're going to make a paycheck. And now what? If they go out and fail, we believe that, you know, it's because they just wanted to.
Right. It does sound like almost every aspect is being covered here.
Yes.
Can you tell me how long the program is? Do they graduate from the program, or how do they move on?
The New Beginnings program is a 10-month program, and once they are halfway through the program, then they are eligible to come to work for Faith Enterprises, and they are on a 60-day probationary period to see if they're going to be a good fit. They may think that I'm tough on them, but maybe I am. It's because I know the potential that I see in these guys. I hold their feet to the fire, you know, and they have stood up to every single thing that I've tried to throw their way, and I'm grateful that I got a chance to be a part of something like this. It's something that I believe that God's designed me to do.
such a great program that's kicked off here, and I know with anything you want the community's support. And what can folks do? What are you needing from them now?
Well, of course, any donations would help tremendously. We're in need of warehouse space. We're working out, I don't know if you're familiar with what a Connex is. It's just a box trailer. And we're working out of that right now, and it's a tight fit. We've got lawn equipment in there and construction equipment, and it's really tough getting in and out of there. And we have, sure enough, as soon as we started this, our trailer got stolen from down at Faith Mission, and so we're borrowing a trailer right now, and we don't have a trailer. So, but we're making do. You know, we're not going to let any obstacles come up that we can't overcome. But any kind of support like that with tools or anything like along those lines would be greatly appreciated, and the chance to earn their confidence.
Yeah, which goes back to the work,
Yes.
correct? And again, you can give them a call if you'd like. We'll put that number on the bottom of your screen. If you even want to learn much more about this program, I understand. We do want to make clear, though, in case people are watching and they're like, I want to get a part of this program, or I know someone who would be great for this. There is kind of a process to go through, correct? If someone wants to sign up.
Yeah, they would have to be in the New Beginnings program at Faith Mission, and once they are enrolled in that program and they meet the criteria, then they can come to work for Faith Enterprises.
Okay, perfect. But again, you can give them a call, and I'm sure they can break that down for you. That number is on the bottom of your screen. Well, Chance, before we leave, maybe there's other men out there who are watching today, and do you have a word of encouragement for them, or maybe a message for them about this program?
Yes, ma'am. It's Ephesians 4:28. Let any thief who's been stealing steal no longer. Let him do good works with his hands, so that he may give back to those in need.
We really thank you for this. It's been awesome.
We appreciate your time and your stories and all that you're going to do. And we look forward to hearing more. So, Kyle, maybe in the future we'll have you back on
Love
as
it.
this program continues to grow and learn more about Faith Enterprises. And Texoma, we want to thank you as well. We need to take one more quick break, but we're going to wrap it up with another look at Night in the Box and, of course, Faith Enterprises. So stick around. We'll be right back with much more. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we're taking an inside look this morning at Faith Mission. Joining me now once again is Vicki Payne, the Director of Marketing and Development. So Vicki, we've just heard a lot about these incredible programs, but give us a little bit more on what Faith Mission offers.
Okay.
And Faith Refuge.
Faith Mission provides shelter for men and families, and we provide meals, of course, and then we also provide meals for the poor in the community that might come for lunch or dinner. We provide clothing also. Faith Refuge provides shelter and meals for women and children. And then we also have the Faith Refuge Career Academy that started last fall, and that is open to the public. So we have women that live in the shelter and women that live in the public that come for the academy. That's a 12-week program to prepare women for their workforce, to build up their marketable skills.
So now there's a program for men and women really
That's right.
targeting,
The Career Academy is going really well and successful, and so we need to do that also for the men, and so it's a different kind of a program, and we're so excited because we serve a magnificent God, and He cares about every detail of our lives.
Whenever it comes to how many people that you've served in the community, those numbers will blow you away.
Now, these are homeless shelters. The count is in beds of shelter, so this
Okay.
is not unique clients, but our past fiscal year, which ended June 30th, 2013, we provided over 100,000 meals at both shelters, and we provided over 33,000 beds of shelter. That's a big chunk in North Texas, and where would these people be, without the shelter? So our community is so generous to provide them and make sure we've got the expenses we need. The budget's over $1 million a year, so
Wow.
that's why we have these events, because
Yeah.
people like to rally around events, and they like to rally around for a good cause, and
Yeah.
so it's a great way we invite everybody to come help us. Oh, we have something new. I almost forgot to tell you. We have a scout troop that has volunteered to man our box truck, and they will be receiving donations of canned goods and paper goods. So you can bring canned fruits, canned vegetables, toilet paper, copy paper, postage stamps, toiletries, anything that we can use that we need on a 365 days a year. We'll have our box truck. You can just come for a part of the event or all of it and bring your donations. Just drop them by. It's so easy, right there at the corner of Southwest Parkway and Kemp.
And again, you're going to be there from 5 o'clock that night until 7 o'clock that morning.
Yes.
So there is a big window there.
Right.
In case you're working, you can stop by after. They're going to be out
Yeah.
there all night. Such a great thing. And again, the 8th annual Night in a Box, a really fun way, I think, too, to get involved in your community and help support, as she mentioned, such a great cause. Well, Vicki, we appreciate your time.
Thank you, Ashley.
And hearing much more about this and everything that you guys are doing. So
Thank you. We appreciate you too.
thank you so much. And thank you, Texoma, for joining us this morning. As always, we hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here next Sunday morning for another look inside Texoma.